Welcome back, Patriots, for another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially, what are we on? Wednesday right now, August 28th. Moving closer to a couple big dates. And, that's Kamala Harris finally signing up for an interview and notifying the newspapers, quite literally, everybody was going bonkers that a running nominee for the Democrat Party to be the president of the United States is holding an interview. Ooh, we're supposed to all be excited and through and livid, and this is awesome. This is so sweet. It only took her 40 days. And by the way, I think the last real interview she did was June or July or something like that. They're running the same campaign Joe Biden did in 2020, just keeping her in the basement. So we're closer to that. And then we're closer to the debate, which is September 10th. And we will be live for that, folks. Like I said, we'll try to do another bingo card, but it's tough. On one hand, she said that she's against illegal immigration, but then 4 years ago, she was all for it. How do you create, do I have both on there, I guess, where it's just she's wish-washy, maybe in the same debate, in the same sentence, I'm against illegal immigration, but you should come here illegally. And then we just scratch both off? I don't know. We'll have to figure it out, folks. It truly is head spinning, but somehow it makes sense to Democrats. It doesn't make sense to any of us with our heads on straight. So, Patriots, look, it's great being back with you, but we got a lot of news to cover. I see all over there in the chat. Greatly appreciated. Much loved all the Patriots over there. We got Michelle. We got Miriam, his servant, Q, 1969, Kathleen. Michael, good to see you, Michael. More lawfare. Oh, yeah, you saw Jack Smith in the thumbnail, my friend. Oh, yes, sir. Take America Back, the architect, Deborah. Shib's here. Good morning, Shib. Shib is feeling it in the UK, guys. Shib, if you want to come here to America and get a taste of freedom, baby, come on over. We got Dave here. Good to see you. I just want to spotlight you guys. I'm trying to get it taken care of. There's a guy or gal, I don't know who the hell it is, that's posing as me on Rumble. It's not me. You need to see the verified badge here next to my name. I should probably be able to do that. Yeah. The verified badge. You guys see that check mark? If you don't see that check mark, that ain't me. So I'm working with Dylan over at Rumble right now to try to get that guy removed because I think it's scam. He's posting phone numbers and all that other stuff, folks. Look, I'm not going to give you a phone number. If I give you a phone number, it's for an advertisement. But that's going to be read live. So please don't fall for these scam artists and these psychos. They're probably Democrats that are trying to steal money from you. And, give it to Kamala Harris or something. Who the heck knows? Well, if you missed yesterday's episode, again, the big news yesterday, before we actually get in today, was Meta CEOs admitting Biden-Harris administration pressured company to censor Americans. And what was astonishing was there was really only conservatives and Republicans talking about this. I don't understand it. It's Democrats that are having their freedoms ultimately shaved away, carved out, however you want to phrase it as well. It's not just us. And Mark Zuckerberg literally just admitted that, oh yeah, they pressured me to sit there and censor Americans, particularly regarding COVID-19. Now, it wasn't just COVID-19. No, sir. I'm not going to let you get away with that. It wasn't just COVID-19. It was a litany of things. The Hunter Biden laptop. They pushed the Russia hoax. You can go back to Benghazi stuff. This has been going on for a long time. And a lot of people are going, oh, well, I think ABL might have had kind of like a wake-up moment. You know what I mean? Oh, maybe he got red-pilled. And he was just asking a question. I'm not hounding ABL by any means. He just put a poll up and asked people what they thought. And I said 100% no. Mark Zuckerberg did not have any sort of awakening moment. If he did, he would have said, I endorse Donald Trump. That would be his an awakening moment. Hey, thank you, his servant, for following us over at Rumble. Greatly appreciated. But no. He sat there and did this multiple times. And he's basically coming out and going, oh, I'm so sorry. In hindsight, I wish I would have done it. BS, dude. You sat there and did it because you knew that you would sit there and change the thoughts of many Americans by suppressing the actual truth, which is a typical thing from Meta and Facebook that we know of. They're doing it right now, by the way, to people like the Daily Wire. They've been doing it to the Daily Wire as well as Christian movies, suppressing that. They're currently allegedly suppressing the new Ronald Reagan movie that Dennis Quaid is the lead actor in. So don't give me this of oh, well, I'm so sorry. If I look back, I would have changed my ways. You did it a handful of times, bro. If you did it once, I've been like, okay, maybe there's some flub going on there. You made it upsy. Sorry, I'm willing to forgive you. But not when you do it with the articles about terrorism. You do it freaking about the Hunter Biden laptop, COVID-19. You've also done it with, oh, males can become females, or females can become males. If you say you can't do that, you're deplatformed. Like, you allegedly been doing all these things. Don't give me this of like, oh, well, all of a sudden I have my coming to Christ moment and I realize, please, you got what you wanted. You got a deranged guy in office that's crippling this country that then made a deranged decision to put some nut job as his vice president that's now running for vice president or running for president. And it's just it's a mess. It's a mess. And then we got to expect Donald Trump to come out here and fix all this in 4 years. Huh. I don't know how he's going to do it. Good to see you, Dave. This is what happens when you let the Nazis force you to wear a face diaper. Some facts there. Well, speaking of just craziness, I was wrong yesterday, you guys. I was so wrong. I'm so sorry. Now, I wasn't wrong in the news I was reporting. I was wrong in what I thought was taking place with Disney. So I said, oh, me and my wife, we're going to go to Disneyland last night, and we did, which is why I'm a little sleepy, a little groggy, kind of all over the place. And I go, well, it seems like they're figuring out their DEI hire stuff. You know what I mean? Like, they're kind of figuring it out now where they're losing a lot of money with Star Wars and the previous Marvel stuff and just kind of the LGBTQ plus elemental P alphabet soup community stuff they're pushing upon everybody. And we're just all tired of it. So they come out with the Deadpool movie, which actually sat there and made fun of the woke agenda. Awesome movie. Great. We all get it. Made fun of Disney for flopping on multiple films, making fun of the woke stuff, how men can be women and women can be men, all this stuff. Great movie. #1 R-rated movie in history, in film history. Then they go back to doing this. I told you so I said, oh, well, it seems like they're figuring out the DEI stuff. They're actually laying people off. Nope, I was wrong. Disney seeks new DEI director offering salary 4 times the national average. Oh, it's almost like, should I just sit there and wear that shirt? You know what I mean? And apply for this job and just act like a lefty? Look at the money here, folks. Look at the money. Walt Disney Company put a job posting out for a DEI director role. Minimum salary. Look at this money. Look at the money. Basically $200,000 and a maximum salary of basically $240,000. What? The average American salary in 2024 was $60K. Whoa. That means they want the big fish. You know what I mean? They don't want some small pond, little weak, little DEI hire fish. They want somebody that's like, you're going to sit there and change our company. We're seeking a director of strategic external engagement, enterprise DEI, to lead our efforts in building strategic relationships with external stakeholders, driving community engagement, and generating valuable insights to support our diversity, equity, inclusion objectives. These people still think that race has something to do with anything. You're going to really bring in something to the table when you're Black, Asian, Hispanic, white. We have everybody. How about you sit there and bring in diversity of thought? How about that for one? They'll still keep pushing it. And you know what, Disney? You'll keep crumbling. You'll keep crumbling. I will say at the parks, they're not pushing the DEI, trans, LGBTQ stuff as much in front of my face. That's why I still enjoy it. The second they start doing that, then I don't know anymore. But so far, the parks is kind of agenda free. It's kind of the old school Walt stuff. Now, the big news yesterday was, and I don't know why this would be big news, Kamala Harris agrees to interview with, again, CNN. We called it. We called it. I said yesterday it was going to be CNN, MSNBC, or ABC. It was only 3. Granted, I had a 33% chance of getting it correctly. And look, we did. We knew it was going to be somebody that's going to massage the shoulders of weird-ass cackling Kamala and eat the gunk out of Tim Walz's toes, which is absolutely disgusting. Well, she's going to do a sit-down interview later this week. It's Wednesday. So I don't know. We're going to go live for it. We're going to all watch together if you want to come in and watch the lies and the spinning. Now, she's not doing it by herself. Oh, no, she can't do that. How could she? Come on. Well, she's going to be doing it with her running mate by her side, Tim Walz. And the guy is just clueless. So this is going to be pre-taped. I bring that up because she might sit there and ramble or not know what the hell she's talking about. She might have to actually process it. Or, have an aide come in or some coach. You go, no, Kamala, you want to say it this way, honey. Honey, you want to say it this way. And, can I get another go? Can we get another take? Take 15, ma'am. We only have so much time. That one wasn't good. All right, take 30. So this is going to be 9 p.m. So what is that? 6 p.m. my time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So we'll be live for it. Bring alcohol, whatever you need to get through it. We will be there. So it's big news. I told you it was going to happen towards the end of the month because, well, she said it was. But she's really squeezing it out to like those 10 days before the debate. And I was talking to my wife yesterday while we were at Disneyland about the debate. And guys, I hope I'm wrong. I think Trump is going to lose this debate. I really do. And I think the reason why I'm saying this, and we'll get to it because there was a victory in terms of what Trump got out of the September 10th debate. But I think he's going to lose. And I'll tell you why in just one moment. If you haven't hit the like button already, what are you doing? Support us. We need your help in growing the community. Always appreciate you, Patriots. Pre-tape so she could blow all. Well, okay, Dave. That's why Dave's over at Rumble. That's why Dave's over at Rumble. He ain't saying that on YouTube. I don't blame you, sir. Be over on Rumble. Thank you very much. Now, J.D. Vance comes out yesterday and he says, look, we're not going to give you a promotion, Kamala. Democrats will, for some reason, we've always said this. I don't know what it is with that party. If you suck at your job, like you are one of the worst, you get promoted, elevated to the highest levels of office, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Like, why are Democrats doing that to us? You know what I mean? Just to America. Why can't you just sit there and get somebody that's actually good at their job? I know it's tough. Like, this is the best they have to offer is Kamala Harris. So here's a JD Vance who I've really grown to like. I'm a JD Vance pants man. Here we go.
Kamala, I hate to break it to you, but day one was 1,300 days ago. You've been vice president for 3.5 years. What the hell have you been doing during all that?
Thank you, JD. Thank you, sir. Spot on. What the hell have you been doing?
Time. The message from this crowd and this state of Michigan is you had your chance, you're failed.
I'm sorry, folks. Now, the show's the Bald Brad Show, right? I got to highlight the bald men back there. On either side of J.D. Vance, folks, if they're not wearing sunscreen, good day to you, sirs. Like, put on a hat, you know what I mean?
And we're not giving you a promotion. And Donald J. Trump is coming back to clean up your mess, Kamala Harris, and it's going to start right here in the state of Michigan.
He's just a good speaker, you know what I mean? And we needed that. And that's what we wanted, right? We could have got it out of Vivek Ramaswamy. You're damn right. I'm a little sore about that. Okay, that's never leaving me. I'm a big Vivek fan. But look, he's a great speaker. I could see why Donald Trump chose him, and that's why sometimes you got to trust leadership over yourself. Now, Vance also hit Kamala over her MAGA morphosis, adopting all of Donald Trump's policies. You guys, please understand, it's a great strategy she's doing. I don't like her. You're damn right I'm not voting for her. I voted for Donald Trump in 2016, 2020, and you're damn right I will be like first in line to vote for that guy in 2024. But it's a smart strategy. The reason why she's looking at the poll numbers and going, this is what Americans want. So I'm going to sit there and flip-flop to say, oh, well, hey, if you don't like illegal immigration, all of a sudden I don't like illegal immigration. And then what she's going to do when she gets into office is not fix jack bleep. And then Democrats are going to be like, oh, well, look what she's doing for the country. She's fixing everything. They're already saying it. It's funny because they're like, she's the best. Her and Biden, they really reined it in. They made America good, you know, because they can't say make America great again. They didn't do anything. It's astonishing how she's like, in day one, I'm going to fix this. In day one, I'm going to fix that. If you were so great at your job, what is there to fix? Donald Trump himself said if when he was running for re-election in 2020, he's like, I've already made America great again. What am I going to do? Keep it great again, right? That's why he's going to keep America great again. You know, he had his whole slogan. So JD Vance kind of slaps her upside her damn head, and great job by JD. And here's a little bit of what that sounded like.
I read a story this morning that her advisors are considering just copying all of Donald Trump's policies. They're more popular. In fact, I've heard that for her debate in just a couple of weeks, she's going to put on a Navy suit, a long red tie, and adopt the slogan, "Make America Great Again." I think that's what...
Could you imagine?
But I read a story this...
She starts selling like purple hats or some shit. Vote Kamala. He's not wrong. She's just doing everything that Trump is doing. And it's a genius strategy. And it looks like our fellow patriot, the architect, is going to be at the Trump rally tomorrow. If you meet Trump, tell him about the Bald Brad Show. Tell all your friends about the Bald Brad Show. Can we put the architect to work tomorrow? Can he support the Bald Brad Show and be like, hey, have you checked out this guy, Bald Brad? Yeah, follow him on Rumble and YouTube. Help him out. Spread the word. Tell the entire Trump rally. I want them chanting, yes, USA, USA, but Bald Brad, Bald Brad, Bald Brad. Trump's going, who the hell is that? Who's Bald Brad? Can we get him on stage? Do us a service, sir. We need your help. Grow the community. We also have yesterday just Dan Bongino. Dan is the man, baby. We loved it. So there's a lot of, okay, there's the Dan that we ripped the new one yesterday. There's also Patriot Dan that comes in here. There's a lot of Dans. But then there's our boy Dan Bongino, who we love here. I would love to work with Dan. I watch his show every morning, you guys. If you don't watch him after our show, catch the Dan Bongino show. So he's a former Secret Service agent. And what he did was he took part in this panel discussion the other day that was about 2 hours long through the Heritage Foundation, because the Democrats don't want to get to the bottom line of how Trump was assassinated. You had a freaking former president that was shot in the head, and nobody wants to talk about it. Well, Dan Bongino does, and a few others like Chip Roy, Eli Crane, Matt Gaetz, Andy Biggs, Corey Mills. Like, actual people are doing an investigation. And Dan Bongino comes out and he goes, a 20-year-old criminal outsmarted them on a $40 drone device. That's disgusting. He's not wrong here.
Well, thanks for your time. Thank you for doing this. Sound okay? Everybody hear me back there? Yeah. Great. Fantastic. Listen, let's just get right to the point. This was an apocalyptic security failure. A man was murdered in front of his family. 3 people were shot on live television, including President Trump in the head, who came within 2 millimeters of having his head explode on national television in front of millions of people. There's no sugarcoating it. It's no time for BS. Unfortunately, as Congressman Crane and Mills both indicated, the story seems to have been vanquished to the phantom zone of media coverage. It's amazing how we're still talking about JFK's assassination, but nobody seems to want to talk about President Trump being shot in the head on national television, despite the fact that we have no answers. So I have 5 minutes, so I want to keep it quick, and I want to make 3 points. I worked in the Secret Service for 12 years. I loved it. I worked with some really amazing men and women who gave everything. I mean, a couple of them literally gave everything. I know guys who've gotten bizarre diseases overseas, like chikungunya fever and protection operations. Everybody gave a little bit of something in the Secret Service, and it was a real honor to say I was part of it. But they have 3 institutional problems, I believe, in the macro will help us get to the bottom of how this Secret Service apocalyptic failure won't happen again. First, they have a technology problem. The joke in the Secret Service, which is sadly no longer funny when I was there, and it wasn't funny then either, is they rely on yesterday's technology tomorrow. Think about that. Yesterday's technology tomorrow. Everything from computer systems at waste agents' times, filling out time and attendance records they were doing, to Congressman Crane and I discussing the fact that they only implemented slings, a technology as old as the wheel, about, 5 or 6 years into my time in the Secret Service, which is embarrassing. The weaponry was old. Everything was old. These are things I would have talked about sooner if they didn't create a security crisis, and I obviously didn't want to air them publicly. Now you're seeing what happens when you don't have a drone up at a site you could have bought for $39.99 on Amazon. Second, Another adage in the Secret Service, you've heard even the new acting director discuss, is the more with less approach. There is no more with less, there's less with less, okay? The Secret Service more with less approach only works if you produce more. That's how capitalism works. You produce a flat screen TV that was probably 20 years ago $10,000. It's $200 at Walmart now. They produce a better TV with less. That's not what the Secret Service did. They produced less with more. They were given more money and produced less. A 20-year-old criminal outsmarted them on a $40 drone technology piece of device. You're telling me that's more with less? That's disgusting. That's nothing with less. That's less with more. Their budget went up. You guys know, you're appropriators. You know that. Third, and I'll wrap it up with this, turn it over to Mr. Prince. The investigative mission, the Secret Service, that they're telling you they need to make them better agents is total crap. That's garbage. Their agents are talented, smart people. They can figure out how to do protection without running out cheap $20 counterfeit notes at 7-Eleven on a Friday night while the president's getting shot in the head. How is it we have a DEA, we have an FBI, we have TIGTA, the IRS, CBP, and 1,000 other entities with a $6 trillion budget, which I know a lot of you guys have been fighting against this grotesque spending. $3 billion goes to the Secret Service, and we're wasting time running out counterfeit notes. It's a serious problem, counterfeiting. Granted, it might be a legacy item. They started doing counterfeiting. That's not what we do now. Get rid of the investigative mission, turn it over to other people, let them do what they do best and should do best. Protection. Thanks a lot for your time. Thank you for doing that.
Man, Dan is great, folks. Dan is great, and he's correct. They couldn't sit there and buy a $30 drone. Now, we all know how that works, right? It's $30, but somehow that $30 drone cost $100,000. In the same way, we talked about these bolts that go on aircraft, and it's literally probably a bag of like 10,000. It's like $5 at Lowe's, nothing crazy. And we pay $85,000 or something like that for a $5 bag of bolts. So it's just government spending, and you know, because it's not their money, it's somebody else's money. It's just easier to spend it when they're not feeling it. So it's just terrible waste going there left and right, and that's why Donald Trump wants to put forth Elon Musk to sit there and kind of hash all this stuff out. Now, before we move on here, folks, if you haven't already, check out Rumble's store. Rumble's exclusive apparel has finally arrived. They are now offering 20% off all purchases in the Rumble store with discount code DROP20, folks. They back free speech. They're our main platform here, and they actually have pretty good gear, in other words, merchandise. If you want to support the brand that is fighting for free speech and fighting for our First Amendment rights, you don't see YouTube doing that, and you don't see Meta doing that. Hell, Mark Zuckerberg just came out yesterday, says, "Oh, I'm so sorry for silencing and censoring conservative Republicans." Rumble ain't doing that. I read what you guys are writing over here. It's a safe place, folks. Safe space, safe place for you to sit there and we'll just exercise your First Amendment right. This is the best way to do it. They have tees, sweaters, hats, plus much more. That's rumble.store. And make sure to enter DROP20 and the promo code to get 20% off your entire order. Secret agent, if you could sit there and put rumble.store and send it. You already got it. Okay, perfect. You're on top of it. Thank you very much. So we got to put it over there in YouTube. We got to make sure we get it out to everybody. Now, what's astonishing here is I think this was either an inside job on Trump assassination or this was working with a foreign adversary. Folks, they're doing some shady stuff. Check this out if you weren't aware of this. And I think a lot of you are because you patriots are on top of it, it seems like. Look, counter sniper at PA rally agrees that FBI made some odd moves after the Trump assassination. Like, what are they trying to cover up? Here's the question. So check this out. SWAT counter sniper at the Western Pennsylvania rally where a man attempted to assassinate former President Donald Trump found it odd that the FBI cleaned the roof from which the shooter launched the attack so that the evidence could have been lost. And also found it odd that the body of the would-be assassin was cremated before the coroner could examine it. I heard rumors, please take this with a grain of salt, but I heard this from multiple sources, that this body, the assassinator's body, the kid's body, the 20-year-old nut job, the coroner didn't even know it was gone. Like they sat there, okay, it's time to run the examination. Dude's body was gone. It was already cremated. Unbelievable. So that came from Corey Mills during the panel. Do you find it odd that literally only days after the attempted assassination on President Donald Trump while the roof was too sloped to place individuals for counter sniper operations, that it wasn't too sloped of a roof for the FBI to go ahead and tamper, in my opinion, with evidence by washing the roof off that would have had significant evidence on it? And he said, yes, sir. Yes, I do. Do you find it odd that the body of Matthew Crooks had not only been released and cremated, but the coroner who's responsible for releasing the body had no knowledge of it? Nobody finds this weird. There's a lot of speculation. Allegedly, the father was involved in this. That if you look at the makings of that bomb, and we talked a little bit about this as well. So this is not news necessarily, but now they're claiming that that bomb that was found, where you'd have to have blasting caps because allegedly it was going to be remotely activated, that those blasting caps can only be made in two ways. You can either have them delivered, or you have to make them yourselves, and you have to get the ingredients precise. Like, you're basically doing some serious chemistry work at home. I heard rumors that basically when they went to the kid's house, that everything was wiped clean like it was a freaking surgeon room. There's a lot of weird stuff, and it's amazing how this is not more news. Like, you would think that people would want to get to the bottom of it. I have a feeling they don't want to get to the bottom of it because there's a lot of foozery going on here regarding the Trump assassination. And usually when people are trying to blame other people and cover something up, something fishy happened. This guy was making phone calls next to FBI buildings. The FBI somehow just all of a sudden just washes off the rooftop and they get rid of the body without actually doing an examination of what took place, what was in the guy's system, what was going on. They can't figure out who he was talking to. It's astonishing how all of a sudden they don't know anything, right? It's like the cocaine that was found in the White House. No clue how it got there. Really? The most protected building probably in the world? You have no idea who left cocaine? That could have been anthrax. You know what I mean? Somebody could just throw powder everywhere. Just poof, suckers. You don't know. There are no cameras that sat there and like, oh, we just slide that into a cubby. Please. Just cover up left and right. But don't worry. They're the most transparent administration that's ever existed. So where did he get the blasting caps from? How did he make them? And that bomb, going back to it, allegedly was more sophisticated than what we were led on to believe in the first place. It's basically saying there's no way this 20-year-old kid made this thing. That's what they're going with right now. Who was working with this guy to kill Trump? Was it the Iranians? Was it our own government? I don't put it out of our own government to do something like that. Look what they've been doing. They don't want him in office. They do not want him in office. And again, now they're doing it. So look at this breaking news, folks. This was yesterday. Trump faces new indictment in January 6th Capitol riot case after Supreme Court immunity ruling. So they tried to remove him from the ballot. That didn't work. They tried to sit there and put him in jail multiple times. That didn't work. So they know what's left. Well, they tried to assassinate the guy. That didn't work. So what do they got to do now? Now they got to go back to their previous plan of trying to put him behind bars. And that's exactly what we have here. Let's roll it.
All right, some news just into us right now where the special counsel Jack Smith has returned what they're calling a superseding indictment against Donald Trump in that D.C. case. It doesn't mean it's more. It just means it's more focused, I guess. Jeff spun on all of that right now. Sir.
Yeah, hi, Neil. It is exactly a little bit more focused. In fact, the indictment itself, about 10 pages shorter than the original indictment from last year. So the same four core charges are included on this indictment. The reason that Donald Trump was re-indicted, if you will, is because the Supreme Court came back somewhat in his favor on July 1st of this year, telling Jack Smith, the special counsel, essentially in layman's terms, you need to go back and rethink about your case before District Judge Tanya Chutkan. This was supposed to go to trial on March 4th, but it was delayed because of the Supreme Court. So while all of these four core charges stay here relating to Donald Trump, the man and the candidate, some of the officials, like Jeffrey Clark, the former DOJ official, have been taken out, and this is a much more focused indictment. I also want to point out, Neil, that this is dealing with a new grand jury, so this grand jury did not hear anything about the other indictment from last August 1st of 2023. They only heard the facts in this case. What does this mean? Likely we're not going to see any type of trial before the election. Jack Smith, the special counsel, and Donald Trump's lawyers will be in court next week here in Washington, D.C. to talk about the path forward. But really, there would be no path forward unless Jack Smith did this today and really tightened up that indictment. And that's why we are where we are, Neil.
They're going to do everything they can to keep this guy out of office. I mean, it's like, this is not news to us. We know they they tried to kill the guy. They're going to do everything. It's not going to stop. Even when he is in office, they're going to continue to try to just pack on more stuff. I mean, you've never seen this. I don't know if you'll ever see this in your lifetime again. I don't think Republicans have the spine to do this to Joe Biden or to Hunter Biden or any of the Biden family. And so the deep state just runs deep, and that's why they're called the deep state. It's the bureaucrats, it's the managerial class that doesn't get elected, that stays in their jobs and their roles, regardless of whoever the president is. And they're the ones that are basically running the country rather than Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. And they're using these people as tools, as pawns to go after Donald Trump. And that's why they filed a rework there to go after Donald Trump in the first place. So the superseding indictment, which was presented to a new grand jury. You got to love how that guy in Fox News was like, oh, well, they didn't hear stuff about Donald Trump's previous stuff. Like, he was a lot better than me on that one. But you understand what I mean, right? Where it's like they sat there and everybody heard about this. They already have a certain viewpoint of Donald Trump in their mind now. And that's why they're going to sit there and try to put on a lot of Democrats on that grand jury, maybe. That not previously heard evidence in this case reflects the government's efforts to respect and implement the Supreme Court's holdings. So imagine more lawsuits. They couldn't let it go because the guy's still there. They thought, oh, that's fine. The Supreme Court gave him the win. Don't worry. He's going to be dead in a month anyways. Not a big deal. Well, that didn't happen. So now they're back doing their shenanigans again. And Democrats are totally cool with it. Nobody's above the law except for Joe Biden. You think Joe Biden just somehow got millions and millions of dollars for his shell companies from foreign countries that we know of? It's not my opinion. Democrats, listen carefully if you come squirmed in here. That's not an opinion. That is a fact. We have the receipts. We've shown them. Hunter Biden, James Biden, Joe Biden, the Biden family received millions of dollars from foreign countries. And you know, Democrats go, well, so did Donald Trump. Donald Trump's a billionaire. A world-class businessman, you idiots. Of course he got money from everywhere. He has buildings around the freaking world. Joe Biden doesn't have anything. The guy's been in government his entire life. The most his family knows about is Hunter Biden picking quality crack cocaine to sniff off a dog's ass. That's it. That's all he knows. And somehow he gets put on Prisma Holdings. He knows all about this energy, natural gas. The only gas he's smelt is his own farts, and that's as natural as it becomes. So don't give me this that they received millions of dollars because of their business dealings and it's all legitimate. Give me a freaking break. Nobody believes that. You don't even believe that, Democrats. Get out of here. Well, you know, he's just working his stuff. Give me a break. Unbelievable. So there's that debate on September 10th, and we're going to go live for you. You're damn right we're going to be here. So hopefully be there or be square. So Trump wins the battle over ABC debate rules. And I'm going to tell you what I think the agenda is, folks. And look, I hope I'm wrong. And actually, I do hope I'm wrong on this one. I think Trump's going to lose this debate. And I'll tell you why in just one moment. Republican president, I know it's not what you want to hear, but I'm only being truthful with you and giving you my opinion. You might be saying, no way in hell, Brad. She sucks. That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think, that she sucks, that she can't do it. Trump is pushing it. She can't do a debate. She can't even do an interview. They're setting the bar low, and I'm telling you, she's going to shatter it. She's from my own state. I know this lady. She's from California. Please understand, she didn't act like this before. When she was here, you can look at old interviews. She didn't act like a cackling bozo. She's going to come out of the gates freaking swinging. You watch, guys. You watch. Please, she's going to come out freaking just. So he said, I reached an agreement with the radical left Democrats for a debate with Comrade Kamala Harris. I mean, he needs to fix that one. That one doesn't work too much. Trump said in a post on the Truth Social, it will be broadcast on ABC Fake News, which we knew, by the nastiest. Can I read it in Trump's voice? It's going to be on the broadcasted live on fake news by the nastiest. They're so nasty, so unfair, most unfair newscaster in the business on Tuesday. September 10th in Philadelphia. We're going back to our roots. Pennsylvania, where they cooked the books last election. They stole it. They stole the election. So, you guys like the Trump oppression? Can we do a poll here? I don't think I've asked. Like, can we do a poll? I'm gonna do a poll real quick. Start poll. Do you like the Trump? And be honest. You're not gonna hurt my feelings. Let me know, Patriots. We got the poll up and running. Do you like the Trump impression? Because if you don't, I might still do it. I don't know. I like it. The rules will be the same as the last CNN debate, which seemed to work out well for everyone except perhaps Cricket Joe. The debate will be stand up, and candidates cannot bring notes or cheat sheets. That's fine. But look at this one. We also have been given assurance that ABC will be fair and equitable debate. I don't think that's going to happen. And that neither side will be given the questions in advance. Here we go. Now, come on, Brad, don't say that. I know you guys don't like it, okay? But hear me out. We already know she's doing the interview later this week. So I would say Friday. She's probably going to squeeze it out till Friday. Maybe tomorrow. She's going to do that pre-recorded interview, and it's going to be, it'll be okay. I don't think she's going to make it amazing. And she's going to sound pretty good. She's going to probably lay out her plan. She's going to lie to all of us. Donald Trump will have 10 days to gather his information on what she says. They're going to go to the debate, okay? The debate's not going to be fair. I just don't believe this. I don't believe that she's not going to get the questions. They said the same thing with Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. No, they won't get the questions, and it comes out, oh, they had the questions ahead of time. I don't believe this one bit at all. She's going to have the questions beforehand. And folks, she was from my home state. I'm telling you, and I hope I'm wrong. Oh boy, do I. She didn't act like this bozo clown. She didn't. Folks, she actually is, when she wants to be, pretty coherent and can be speaking plainly. I think it's a charade. I don't think she's as dumb as she's coming off. And this is the agenda. I was telling my wife this. There's a reason why she didn't schedule debates after. She won't do a debate afterwards, this one. And I think this is the game plan. I'm going to act like Bozo the Clown, not do any interviews. I'm going to do one interview before the debate. She's going to come out swinging. The best debate performance of her freaking life. And Trump, I hope he comes out great, but the bar is set so low where she just has to come out and not cackle, just be clear, and she wins the debate. She'll have the questions ahead of time. She's going to sound coherent. Maybe she won't cackle. I don't know. But I'm telling you guys, she was a lawyer before. I get that she didn't pass the bar exam. It took her like a try or two. But the bar is down here, man. And Trump's enabling it. I hate to tell you, but Trump's like, she can't do a debate. We'll be live, and I'll admit, look, if Trump sits there and whips her tushy, I'll admit that I was wrong. I got no qualms with that. But I think we're really leading on here where I think Harris might win. And that's why she doesn't have any debates after, because she's going to have the questions. She's going to sit there and kill it. I'm not doing another debate till the election. And Donald Trump, I need another debate in. She's not going to, she's not doing it. She's not going to do it. This is it. Donald Trump wins, she'll grant more debates. If she wins, no debates till the election. She's going to sit there and hide in her hole, be very strategic in what she does in front of the media and the press. And that's it. Rarely am I wrong. I hate to say it. Okay. Very rarely am I wrong. Now, Trump camp pushes back on claims Harris supports border wall. Kamala's record proves she is pro open borders. Oh, absolutely. Oh, yeah. I mean, you just look at the last 4 years, but what's weird is Democrats are almost like completely blind to it. So there's this post, was by Karen Levitt. Is that how you say her name? And it says, how much longer will the mainstream media allow Kamala Harris to hide and use staff to break on her behalf? In day 37 of 0 interviews, and Kamala's anonymous campaign sources are now claiming she supports Donald Trump's border wall, which is a massive freaking 180 from the Democrats in 2016, where they wouldn't give Trump money to build a border wall. It's racist. Remember how it was nothing but racist. So now she wants to build a border wall. Crickets from the Democrats. It's not racist anymore. Explain that to me. Is there a Democrat in here? Dan, can you please be in here today? We need the content. Dan, are you in here so we can rip you a new one again? Dan, can you explain to all of us, if you're in here, why all of a sudden it's not racist to build a border wall? Explain to us, Patriots, because we're all confused here. We don't get it. So Now she's for a border wall, which we covered yesterday. We also covered the fact that RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard are now endorsing Donald Trump. And we got this, where Tulsi Gabbard is named honorary co-chair of Trump's 2024 transition team. Now, I'm hearing the GOP's not liking this. I'm hearing the GOP's not a fan of having RFK and Tulsi Gabbard in there. I don't mind it as much. It depends what their roles are. But Tulsi Gabbard is really, I mean, they're both old school Democrats, and you would be more aligned with the Republican Party as an old school Democrat, a Kennedy Democrat, no pun intended, since we got RFK here, than they would be of the Democrat Party. I mean, the Democrat Party, even if you look at the data, the studies that have been done, they are far left as a party. I mean, they're just for killing children now. The fact they showed up to their own DNC with a RV to sit there and kill babies is insane to me. I will never forget that for the rest of my life. That, and Democrats, hell yeah, sitting there like, kill the babies, kill the babies. What the fuck? That's not barbaric. Now, they're going to be part of the transition team, and they will help pick people who will be running the government. Now, this is kind of nice. I like the idea, but it does worry me a little bit because we could fall into that same trap of kind of what we saw with Trump's administration in 2016. He had a lot of firings, kind of trusted a lot of people, and hopefully they learned from their ways. So we'll see what comes of it. It's a gamble, in my opinion. I'm not totally against it. I don't have much of an opinion just because I don't know really if we could trust them or not. We'll see. But I'm always curious to see what you patriots say in the chat. 85% like the... Do we have a lot of votes? Wow, 83% like the Trump impression. Who's the 17? Who are you? Oust yourself. Oust yourself right now. Shib, was that you, damn it? Did you say you don't like the Trump impression? Robert, was that you? Who was it? Jeff, you in here? I'm teasing you guys. Thank you so much for him taking part of the poll. Oh, it's 84 now. No. I'm going to stop it there. I want to know who those 16% were. Well, here's Tulsi Gabbard yesterday explaining why she endorsed Donald Trump.
Why did you go with Trump?
David, the choice in this election is very clear, and the differences between President Trump and Vice President Harris couldn't be more stark. Frankly, to put it simply, the choice for the American people is a choice with Donald Trump, a man who values peace, prosperity, and freedom. And he has a record that proves that. And Vice President Kamala Harris, whose record shows an increasingly tyrannical government undermining our freedoms. We are embroiled in multiple wars around the world and closer to the brink of nuclear war than ever before, and increasing economic hardship for Americans throughout these last 3.5 years that she has served as Vice President of the United States. The contrast couldn't be more clear. This is personal for me, this endorsement of President Trump, because as a soldier now for over 21 years, I've deployed to multiple war zones in different parts of the world, put my life on the line for the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. So it's important to me and to every one of my brothers and sisters in uniform that we have a commander-in-chief who values every one of our lives, who carries that responsibility as commander-in-chief very seriously, and will therefore exhaust all diplomatic avenues before seeing war truly as a last resort. And the last point that I'll make on this, that is another point of contrast, is President Trump showed through his last administration, not only did he not start any new wars, he took action to prevent them by courageously meeting with adversaries, allies, partners.
So she keeps going, and she's spot on here. Victory Lane says, I'm part that don't like impression. My wife thinks you're making fun of him by doing it. No, I'm not making fun of him. Well, I guess partly maybe because it is comedic, right? Part of an impersonation is to over exaggerate somebody's personality to have a little bit of fun with it. So, I don't know why anybody would take offense to it. It is poking fun a little bit, but Trump enjoys it. Trump's actually been next to people that are impersonators that over exaggerate things, and even he finds it funny. So we just got to be lax a little bit, Victory. I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, but it's all in good faith. Okay, it's all in good faith. But I'll tell you what, the impression's not that far off. Okay, I'll admit it's the best I got. It's pretty good. I've been working on it for years. Now, what was astonishing here is, remember, all of a sudden we're supposed to forget that Joey's cognitively gone. all of a sudden we're supposed to forget that Joey's not with us. Joey's on vacation right now, by the way, while the world is just ablaze. Where's Kamala at? Where's everybody in the Democrat Party at? Nobody seems to find anybody here in leadership. It's like when you're working that office job, or you're working at, whatever retail place, like, where the F is the leader? Where's the manager? And they're just out doing something. Well, we're just supposed to all forget that they sat there and covered up his cognitive decline for 4 years. Check this out. Mud Whistle, thank you so much for the 1999. Big supporter here on the Bald Brad Show. Always throwing in the gifts and the donations. Greatly appreciated, man. Thank you so much. Victory, absolutely right. Let's hope for a victory. This is one of the biggest elections in our lifetime. Well, Biden was seen visibly shaking, could not even get into the SUV on his own. Now, there was this old clip, I should say old, about a month ago, where he couldn't get in the SUV, and we covered it here. And I was like, was that the Secret Service lifting up his legs to get his legs into the motorcade, the Beast? I don't know if y'all remember that. We actually paused and we went back because it was like it was on the other side of the vehicle, so we couldn't really tell. Well, look at this. Now, we don't have footage of it, but this is a reporting that says President Joe Biden was reportedly visibly shaking as he got on Air Force One last week and was unable to get into an SUV on his own. Now, the reason why I believe this is because we saw it with our own eyes previously. The stunning account was reported by the Daily Mail's Emily Gooden this week after Biden spoke at the DNC, walking slowly down the plane stairs. He struggled to step up into the SUV, waiting to take him to the 8,000-acre Santa Barbara ranch, where he and his family have just enjoyed a week-long vacation. One of his Secret Service agents moved to shield him from watching cameras before giving him a helpful boost in the car. Now, here's the thing. I saw a very similar video, as did all of us together. So make what you want of it, but it kind of supports kind of what we've seen over the last 4 years. The guy looks frail. He's screaming at us all the time. He's always angry. Now, I scream for entertainment purposes, but I'm not yelling at you like, you need to sit there and shut the F up. You need to fix your rhetoric, kill Republicans, right? This is like, that's what he does. And I don't understand it. Now, I over-exaggerated it, but not by much. Not by much. Now, I also want to hit you guys with this one. I don't know how many of you live in California, but look at this. California Senate bill passes AB 1840, Migrant Home Loan Bill. Look at this. The California State Senate has passed a bill providing undocumented immigrants up to $150,000 in-state sponsored home loans. Oh, perfect. Me and my wife were talking about this yesterday, just how much housing is. Where like a year ago, not even year, probably like 3 years ago, maybe 4, houses were still about like 800 to 1.2 million here in Southern California. Now everything's like 2 million, 1.7 million. I mean, how do you save up for a home properly? We're big Dave Ramsey fans here. Like we save. Like we're very kind of cheapskates. Like we don't buy a ton of stuff. Like and you just can't afford a home. I mean, it's wild here. So they passed this. So rather than helping out actual Americans that should get that money, since it's our money, it's just going to illegal immigrants, which, by the way, is now ultimately inflating the home economy because now there's already demand for it. Well, if you allow illegal immigrants to sit there and take part in that buying of homes, guess what happens? Yeah, you have that competition in Democrats. You understand that? You understand how basic economics 101. We should post a book. It's called Economics in One Lesson by Henry Hazlitt. Really quick read. Democrats, why don't you buy yourself a copy? It's about 100 and something pages. Really fast, and you actually learn how things work because they don't get it. Because they're complaining too. I live in a Democrat state. They're all complaining, oh, boo-hoo, I can't buy a house. Well, you're enabling it. It's amazing that they sit there and they shoot themselves in both kneecaps. My legs! Oh, my legs! I can't walk! Damn you, Trump! You shot your own self! You sat there and did this to your own self in the same way, right? They're complaining about all the smash and grabs. Oh my God, the crime is through the roof. I got mugged today by a bunch of people and they stole all my shit. You allowed it. You voted for it. You voted for Gavin Newsom. You could have allowed somebody else to come in when we try to remove the guy from the ballot. And these idiots go, nope, we're going to keep Gavin in. Really, the record homeless crisis, their freaking encampments are going ablaze. Businesses are going out. Their freaking entire malls are shutting down. Almost every mall that I went to as a kid is gone. So, oh yeah, no, they're running it great. They bitch about it, but then they vote for the thing that they're bitching about. Does it make sense to anybody? Can anybody rationalize that for me, please? Where you complain about higher taxes, you complain about the crime, you complain about the homelessness, you complain about the housing prices, you complain about everything, and then you sit there and vote for the things consistently, like throughout your entire life, every single effing time. It riles me up because I don't get it. Why don't they have it through their thick skull that just connect the dots, bro? Connect the dots. And you know what they'll say? Because you're giving a little bit of entertainment here, a little bit of passion. They go, why are you so triggered? Why are you so bothered? The same way you are, you idiot. You sit there and bitch and complain, so I come on camera and bitch and complain about the very things that you're doing because I'm sitting there paying for the consequences of your voting behavior, and then you're upset because I'm a little bit passionate about the fact that you're destroying an effing state that I've lived in my entire life? Yeah. So you're bitching about it, I'm bitching about it, but it's not a problem when you bitch about it and vote for the thing that you're freaking bitching about, but it's a problem that I'm bitching about it and don't vote for the thing that I'm bitching about. No connection. It's a remarkable thing. You can have a guy sit there and shit in his hand and throw the hot diarrhea right in a Democrat's face, and he'll sit there and complain about it. But then I love the homeless. There's something wrong with them, but they deserve it. As they're spitting out the guy's cock out of their mouth. Give me a break. That was a real story, by the way. I did not make that up. Sounds like, Jesus, Brad, what the hell's wrong with you? That's so gross and grotesque. It's because it happened. I know it sounds satirical that I'm just making this up. I'm not. It happened. Home prices just smashed another record high in June. Oh, goody. It's not going down. Home prices hit a new record in June amid an ongoing housing shortage, even as high mortgage rates continue to push affordability out of reach for millions of Americans. But not for illegals. We'll make sure we give them your tax dollars. Oh, that's just fine and dandy. Prices increased 5.4% nationally in June when compared with the previous year. Meaning that you would have to sit there, if you saved 5% of your money, let's just say, which some Americans struggle to do, by the way. You're supposed to save around 15 to 20% of your money. Realistically, a lot of Americans can't do that. So if you sat there and were like, hey, I'm saving 5%, you won't be able to afford a home because you sat there and it's going up faster in price than what you're actually saving every year. Meaning that it's just an uphill climb. You can never actually catch up. And that's what I was talking with my wife about yesterday. It's like, how do you sit there and afford a home when it's out sitting there, out competing, or I don't know how you even phrase that. It's increasingly going faster in an upwards trajectory than you are saving. So here's another one. CNN is covering it here, which is a remarkable thing, but there's no connection to the fact of giving illegal immigrants stuff and nothing.
A just released housing index reveals just how rough the market is, especially for first-time home buyers. It showed home prices for the nation's top 20 metro areas rose 5.4% from June of last year to June of this year, a record jump for that month. And renters, not just home buyers, are feeling a serious squeeze, especially in New York. Moody's found New Yorkers dedicated a whopping 58% of their income toward rent compared to 27% nationwide. That's
insane. But you know what? Partially, I don't feel bad for them because they vote for all this stuff. I feel bad for the Republicans and conservatives that live in New York City. Now, you could say, and you'd be right, I would 100% agree, then why are you living there? Brad, if you're going to bitch and complain about everything, why are you living there? I agree. Valid point. Valid point. And that's why we're having the conversations. Do we stay here? Do we move out? Do we go somewhere else? We're having the valid conversation, valid points. Still going to bitch about it because I'm not the one that's voting for all this craziness. I don't want illegal immigration. I don't want to sit there and allow smash and grabs to happen. If we have this show take off and we can sit there and make good money on this, then yeah, I will move out and we'll go in freaking the middle of nowhere and be left the hell alone, not have to worry about anything. I could sit there and just do the show from, a cabin in the freaking middle of the woods with like Starlink, you know what I mean? But we're a long ways from that happening. We are a long ways from that happening. Well, we also have this here. Look at this. So this comes from the Trump War Room. California Democrats just voted overwhelmingly to force the taxpayers in their state to subsidize the $150,000 down payments of homes for illegal aliens. And then Democrats, you just saw CNN. Oh, New Yorkers can't sit there and afford a house. They're paying 60% of their budget towards rent. Give the illegals more food, money, shelter, water, clothing, tables, couches, Xboxes, plasma TVs, revolving meal. I'm not making it up. We did a whole episode on it, by the way. We actually showed the footage. We showed the footage of them getting Xboxes, clothing, plasma TVs, air conditioning, full phone services. They get cell phones. They get a little bit of an allowance. They get a revolving menu, 3-course meal throughout the day that's catered to their actual culture of where they're coming from. They get recreational centers. It's bonkers. It's freaking bonkers. And then they go, why can't I afford rent? Well, maybe because you have illegal aliens that are sitting there coming into your state. Granted, some of them are being bussed in, that are ultimately taking up that space, increasing more demand because there's not enough supply. Because guess what? In basic economics, they're taking that space up. So if you didn't have those thousands upon thousands of illegal aliens, upwards of 30 million in this country, guess what? It would probably lower the price just a little bit. No thought process. Nothing. Give Clifford a Patriot welcome. What's going on, Clifford? Where we are besides the ones who are working. Let me see. I don't know what's going on with Clifford here. What do you mean? Like, is he an actual patriot, or you want me to rip him a new one? I don't know what you want. Clifford has been drinking the shit shake for... Oh, okay. All right, here we go. Yep, let's look at Clifford here. Clifford, give us what you got. Let's find Clifford. I got time. Oh, boy, do we got time. We are they besides the ones who are working. Let me see. What we got? Secret agent, let me know. Oh, okay, yeah, he's... Okay, yeah, Democrat in the chat. Perfect. Hey, Clifford, are you in here still, buddy? Yes, we've been waiting for him. Maybe it's just Dan with a different name. Hey, Clifford, let us know really quick in the chat, buddy, why you're voting for Kamala Harris here, or any sort of Democrat policies. Let's see if I can find them. You people never had it any better than you do now. What? Hey, Clifford, you do know that you have to make $15,000 more now under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's regime than you did when Donald Trump was in office. You do realize that there's 10 to 15 million more illegal aliens in this country than there were when Donald Trump took office. You do realize that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden lost 250,000 children to sex trafficking, forced labor. They're selling them off into slavery. That is not an opinion. That's an actual fact from a whistleblower that came out. We used old numbers, 85,000. Now it's 250,000. Can you explain that one? But I know you don't care enough about the children because you also want to trans the kids in school systems at a 2nd grade level to teach them how to use butt plugs and dildos correctly, and also use cartoons to teach them how to masturbate. You're also the psycho party that wants to give them pornographic material at a kindergarten level, as well as teach them about gender identity and how to use puberty blockers and hormone enhancers at a freaking kindergarten grade level, even though they're fucking eating freaking paste instead of actually utilizing it to make arts and crafts. You're the same party that sits there and wants to increase unrealized capital gains from 0 to 25% and wipe out people's retirement, even though, oh, it's only for those that have an income over 100 million. Well, once they sit there and destroy that whole ladder in terms of class level, they're going to come for you. You're the same party that sat there and utilized the IRS to go after your political opponents, conservative Republicans, not just in the Obama administration, but the Biden administration. But you don't care two bleeps about that. You're also the party that wants to sit there and allow the IRS to look in the bank accounts for anybody that has $600 or more. But, you know, you're cool with that one as well. He comes back and says, I worked part-time under Trump cause of COVID. See, this is the psychos. The Trump derangement syndrome makes their heads spin. It's wild. They actually think Trump was the cause of COVID. That came from China. Even the Chinese admitted it. So you're going to sit there and blame Donald Trump for something that he had no responsibility in. He tried to do the best he could, which you're probably not going to meet a sitting president ever that actually experienced what he had to experience in terms of running the country. Joe Biden just had to come back and sit there and open everything back up, which he did. And guess what? He brags about having 16 million jobs. He didn't even create 16 million new jobs. They had to sit there and revise the numbers last month by almost 1 million because the guy that you voted in office fucking lied about it. But you can't admit that one bit. You can't admit that your party sucks You're the party of slavery, bro. You're the party of the Ku Klux Klan, and you love it. Do you see the Nazi party of Germany still roaming the streets for the crazy shit that they pulled upon the Jews and the gypsies? Do you see them roaming as a party still? But for some ungodly reason, your party still beholds to the Democrat Party name when they sat there and put fucking black people in chains, hung them from trees, burned them alive at the stakes in some cases, and for some reason you're still roaming around with that party's name. Is pretty fucking bonkers. Not to mention the fact your party's so left-leaning that you had RVs show up to your own Democrat National Convention to give abortions and kill babies. The same party that's driving out businesses from state after state, crime after crime in those cities where you have entire malls shutting down, you have entire businesses shutting down. They can't stay afloat because your own policies, and you still don't have the rationale in the chat, I'm reading it, to actually wake up to the fact that your party sucks. I get that you don't want to vote for Donald Trump, but the fact that you're going to go out of your way to vote for Joe Biden, or I guess in this case, Kamala Harris, is remarkable. And by the way, Clifford, why don't you let us know who actually you voted for? Because I know and sure hell ain't Kamala Harris, because nobody in your party voted for her. How could you sit there and behold the name of the Democrat Party when you didn't actually carry out democratic values to sit there and nominate a candidate of that party to run for the president of the United States, even though all of you thought she sucked ass in 2020, didn't even make it to the Iowa caucus, but all of a sudden, your mind, your rationale that she's all of a sudden like a great candidate for the president of the United States? She destroyed California in conjunction with Gavin Newsom. She allowed crime to flourish. She allowed illegal aliens to come out of jail and rape your children and women, but clearly you're for that one. On God's green earth, I don't understand how that makes any sense. That means hotel workers are now getting a paycheck. That's great that they're getting a paycheck. But if you think things are better now under Kamala Harris and Joe Biden, you are so far off your rocker, my dude. It is head spinning. Like, you are living so far out there in the ether. You are on Mars right now. And when Elon Musk actually gets SpaceX up and running and we could send people there, they'll go ahead and visit you. And maybe you can have another deranged conversation with them because your head ain't on straight, buddy. If you think you're doing better now, maybe the stock market is, but you still have to make $15,000 more now than you did under Donald Trump. And by the way, the housing market's still through the roof. I mean, it is so bad here in just the United States that not only is it bad because of all the illegal immigrants are here, but they're sending that money back to their own country. That's also inflating the prices of their home market. So they're also screwing people in their home country. And by the way, you allow smash and grabs to take place, crime to take place. You allow sex trafficking to take place. Hey, Clifford, why are you for sex trafficking, you weirdo? I have not said anything about being a Democrat, did I? Well, if you're sure in hell ain't a Republican, that's what I'm hearing. It doesn't seem like it, because you're calling all of us, we're patriots here, we're Republican. If you're independent, you're still deranged, buddy. So who are you voting for? Clifford, here, let's do it. At Clifford, who you voting for? Who you voting for? Let's see if he does it. So not only are we saying it on camera really quick, but I want to know who Clifford's voting for. Come on, Clifford, tell us. Because if you're a Trump fan, that's great. Still a little deranged. But let us know, buddy. Who are you voting for? Are you not voting at the top of the ticket? Because I can actually understand that. Are you sitting there voting for Donald Trump? Let us know. Because if you are, you're seeing a lot of weird stuff in the chat, and it's not making sense to much of us. So you might be either on the wowzer or the drinker. I work every day. What are you talking about? Clifford, answer the question. Who are you voting for? It's amazing, right? That's always the question you want to ask people. Who are you voting for? I hate all the crime. I hate all the stuff that's going on. It's so terrible. But they just sit there and they scribble in Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom. Let's see if he answers it. There you go. Doesn't matter. There you go, folks. It's just it's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Is it not? Is it not unbelievable? They can't do it because they sit there and vote for it. They're even ashamed to say who they're voting for. That's the most mind-blowing thing, because they know their party is trash right now. It hasn't always been. You look back at the Kennedys, or hell, even the Clinton days, they were for border walls. They were for to stop this illegal immigration. They didn't want wars and all these things. They can't actually admit it. It says it right there. They're ashamed of it, and they don't want to bring it out because they sat there and can't sit there and contradict anything that it actually said, because it's all factual. It's all real. The illegal immigration's happening. It's sitting there ruining Democrat areas, and they love it. They thrive off of it. They love killing babies so much so that they will send RVs to their own Democrat National Convention to sit there and kill human beings. It's a remarkable thing. They love the sex trafficking. They love the human trafficking. If they didn't, they would figure the board out right now. But look in the chat, you guys over at YouTube. He can't sit there and actually figure it out. Let me pop up the chat here. I'm still waiting. Look, he's right here. Does it matter? Still waiting for you, Clifford. Let's put it in there. At Clifford, still waiting. Those only who are complaining about everything is you guys. No, Democrats are complaining too. I live in the state of California. I hear it every single day. Even when I was a tax accountant, they sat there complaining, taxes are too high. It's ripping me a new asshole. Please figure it out. Don't give me this. Who are you voting for, Clifford? What does it matter? Yeah, come on, dude. Notice, Patriots, notice in the chat, it's all been documented. It's there forever. He can't sit there and contradict one single thing I said. Not a single thing. It's a remarkable thing. You will probably, hopefully, never see this again. But I don't know. They keep weaseling their way in here. So clearly we're doing something right on YouTube. Your donations, you guys, allowing me to sit there and pump my promotions out are finding the lefties because they're coming in here. So absolutely love it. Appreciate it, Clifford, for the content. You go ahead and vote Kamala Harris, my friend, and continue to destroy this country. And then pretzel your way into some sort of logic and reason that everything's better. Even your own party doesn't think it's better, dude. That's why Kamala Harris is going, we're going to fix the economy. We're going to fix taxes. We're going to sit there and fix crime. We're going to fix the border. We're going to fix our foreign policy. Your own party isn't going to sit there and fix anything. And I love it how he's like, it's better now. Then what is there to fix if it's so great? Why is she sitting there saying, we're going to fix this and that if it's so great? What an idiot. What an idiot. They would be like, hey, we're going to continue the trajectory of the economy. We're going to sit there and allow Americans to continue to flourish. None of that's being said. It's all, we're going to fix this on day one in my office. I'm going to sit there and revamp this and that. What's there to revamp? Everything is fine. There he goes. Yep, maybe Harris. Now he admits it. Don't be ashamed. I mean, you should be a little bit. That's a terrible vote. But it would make more sense not to vote at the top of the ticket. But, you know, that's what we have to deal with, folks. We got people roaming this country as NPCs that are actually going to vote for Kamala Harris. Like I mentioned, I get if you don't like Trump. Like, I get it. You're a Democrat. You won't vote Republican ever. I get that. By the way, I've even said on the show, I'm not like that. I'm not beholden to a party, by the way, Clifford. I'm not beholden to Donald Trump. Donald Trump is just another tool, another mechanism to carry out my values and my creed. If he doesn't do it, guess what? I don't vote for the guy. If there's not a candidate at the top of the ticket, guess what? I don't vote at the top of the ticket. I'm not beholden to a party, but for some ungodly reason, it doesn't make sense. Have you been to the border? No, I haven't. I'm not a politician. I'm some dude in a closet with a microphone and a camera sitting here doing a fun show with a bunch of patriots that hopefully will sit there and change the minds of some Democrats, but clearly we ain't getting it through to you. I don't know what I could tell you that's actually going to sit there and swing your vote, but why don't you just look up a few of those things that we've listed out here because it will be published and maybe you could figure it out. But I don't need to go to the border to actually see what's going on at the border. You could just look around. And by the way, I'm not too far from the Southern California border to sit there and look at the problems that it's created in Southern California. Because guess what? They all are coming here. They're all coming to Arizona and Texas. They're coming to all these places. Why? Because you're voting for it, you idiot. You're voting for it. You are an idiot in regards to voting for Kamala Harris if you want to sit there and stop illegal immigration, but he doesn't. Everybody ask him, Clifford, do you like illegal immigration? Just ask him. Let's do it. Clifford, let's see if he does a yes or no. Do you like illegal immigration? Let's just see, you guys. Let's see if he can answer a simple question. I guarantee you he's not going to say yes or no. I guarantee you. Just wait. We'll wait it out. There's a little bit of delay here on the show. So while we're waiting for Clifford to maybe answer a question, we kind of got him to squeeze out. He said maybe Kamala, as if there's a choice. Like, what's the other decision? Just not at the top of the ticket. Maybe Kamala. Like, who the fuck are you going to vote for? Joe Biden? He's not at the ticket. Well, maybe Harris. So you also have this, speaking of Clifford in here. Kamala hasn't had a reason or purpose to do an interview to this point. Historic inflation, so Clifford's going to vote for that. Deadly border crisis. He absolutely loves the fentanyl. It's killing 250,000 Americans, also losing 250,000 children to sex trafficking, forced labor, being raped and killed and murdered, all those things. Those are just the ones we know about, by the way. Skyrocketing violent crime. He loves that as well. New wars around the world. I mean, you got the Iranians that want to wipe Western civilization off the face of the earth. Joe Biden basically enabled them to build a nuclear warhead. He's all for that. And by the way, his predecessor, Barack Obama, same exact thing. Afghanistan withdrawal. You have people falling from the fucking skies, but somehow it's Trump's fault. Radical EV mandate. I mean, the list really goes on and on. But notice there, he's still not writing in the chat if he's for illegal immigration. He can't do it. He can't do it. Democrats can't. Why? Because it ousts them. Because it makes them look bad. In the same way, if you were to ask a Democrat nowadays, like, are you for slavery? They would say, well, no. then why you have the party that's from slavery? Did you change your ways because are black people doing better nowadays? Yes, but it's not because of the Democrat Party, it's because of the Republican Party. It's not there. It's like he just can't do it. He probably left. Patriots, do we enjoy doing the let's do a poll. Do you enjoy calling out Democrats here? Oh, it's a Q&A. Yeah, he left, you guys. There's no way he's back here. Maybe he still is. Start a poll. Do you enjoy the calling out of Democrats? Let's just see. Let's see the Patriots like. Maybe it's too much for some of you. It's too much for Clifford. He left. He's gone. Clifford's not with us. Clifford the big red dog's not with us anymore. Everyone says yes. Now, it wasn't as much as an epic rant just because I didn't know who he was voting for. I don't know. You know, I'm just calling it out here. By the way, folks, I appreciate... Oh, no, he's still in here. He's back. Look, he won't answer the question. He won't. If I had a small business, it's something labor. I can't read that. There, it's cheap labor. It's illegal to hire illegal aliens, you idiot. God. So the dude's for breaking the law. By the way, I told you again. No. AC/DC. He didn't say yes. He didn't say yes. He won't answer the question. Do you notice that? It's a typical theme from the left. It's a typical thing. You ask them a straightforward question. It's a yes or no. They can't. These are the same people that couldn't actually sit there and write a paper in high school or a simple. This is a 6th grade question. Are you for illegal immigration? And then what you would do is you would create a multiple choice option. You say yes and no. And these idiots would sit there and go, I don't know. Like they actually wouldn't pick a choice, or they would circle both. You know what I mean? Oh, I'm so confused. A or B. They can't do it. I love this. For those who are over at Rumble, I apologize, but Rumble doesn't really get too many people weaseling their way in here. So I guess we got to pop out the chat a little bit here. Look at this. Look at this. Clifford. So end poll. Yeah, you guys, somebody like no. Who was the no? Was that Clifford? Was Clifford the no? Oh, well. All right, folks. That is the conclusion. He's not going to answer any of our questions. Always greatly appreciated. We had more news to cover, but when you get somebody in here, you got to sit there and tear him a new one. Greatly appreciated, Patriots. Hopefully, Clifford, you'll wake up, buddy. It'd be nice for you to join the rest of us in society as a, American citizen that wants to allow other Americans to flourish and not people that, shouldn't be here illegally. With that being said, hit that like and subscribe button. If you feel like we deserved your subscription, hit that follow button. If you want to become a member, it's 99 cents, folks, $4.99 or $9.99. You get to choose. We also have a donation tab at Bald Brad. So if you want more of the proceedings to go to us so that we can sit there and invest in the show, you can go to baldbrad.com. There's a reoccurring membership option now. So if you don't want to give ScrewTube, YouTube your money, there is a reoccurring option that you could do that's very similar. So some of you are the American Patriot here. That's $4.99 a month. You could do that over at baldbrad.com. And that way you're not giving YouTube 30% of your cashola. So if you want to make donations over there, you can. And that would be greatly appreciated. I know Karen Catmon gave us a big donation. That's always greatly appreciated as well. We have a book. Maybe Clifford, you should buy it. That might be a good one for you. Called Trojan Horse: How the Left is Destroying America. Can you imagine Clifford trying to write a book? Jesus. It'd be one-page vote, Kamala. With that being said, folks, thank you so much. Have a blessed day. And I'll see you later, Patriots. Take care.